I'm making this video just for my own studies of filmmaking and photography, and basically someone on my Instagram account has asked me to make a YouTube video about my work with film versus digital. So today being extremely hot and I have no plans of going out and burn to a crisp, I thought I'd use this opportunity to make this video. So here we go. I have been doing film photography for a little more than 1 year now, and basically the reason why I got into film photography was because at my school we get to use 35mm and Super 16 for our movies. The one thing I didn't realize about 35mm at the time was it's basically the same film size, same film. You put inside a motion picture camera and a stills camera like this. Now, once I found that out, I had to start testing because COVID-19 really didn't let us have the opportunity to use a motion picture camera in my term. So I never really got the full 100% experience of using a camera like that. But I also wanted to learn during lockdown. So for 6 months, I've just been carrying a film camera, walking around London, and just learning what works, what doesn't work, and so forth. When I use film, one of the biggest reasons why I started film was I bought a Nikon F5, which that camera was stolen from me. But before then, I used the Nikon F5 just because I found the commercial where the entire ad was filmed on a Nikon F5.
The Nikon F5, technically the quickest camera in the world.
I saw that and I had to get one for myself, and I got one for eBay for around 200 quid. Probably one of the best investments I ever made. That camera was a tank. I never dropped it, I took care of it, but I just felt like if it was to hit anything, that thing would get damaged. But the Nikon F5, once you hold down the shutter 8 frames a second, that was probably the cleanest film stop motion I've ever made in my entire life. That was probably the most exciting moments with that camera. Definitely with a film camera, you make a composition and you start to wonder, is this worth it? Film has a weird way of just making you appreciate things, the simple things. And you don't really do that with digital. I mean, maybe you can, I just never had that experience. I definitely get comments that I make everyday simple moments seem magical or out of the ordinary feel special. And that's the kind of comments that make me feel like I can keep going, and this is the kind of work that I like to do. It makes people happy. There's definitely a talk that what do people prefer to use, film versus digital. Even Quentin Tarantino and Roger Deakins seems to have their own conversation of what they prefer. That digital can capture things that film can't, but movies that are not created on film, they steal the joy, the audience, the magic from making a movie. I personally am still learning because that's why I'm in film school. What do I prefer? Well, I like both. When it comes to film versus digital, it really is a very difficult subject, just because some people say digital is better than film, film is better than digital. They all have their pros and cons. It's not something that you can say one makes sense over the other. But yeah, I mean, carrying a film camera around on travels, vacation, and holiday, it's definitely a very nice, rewarding aspect, because when you take film, it starts something that I believe it's related to nostalgia. You can carry around a digital camera, you can take thousands of photos, but why take thousands of photos of the same thing when you can take 38 magical ones that you really cared for, that you would pay money? Now, I try to stay with the best of comparisons. My favorite film camera I have is the Canon A1 program, and I absolutely love the things that come out of this camera. But it's very hard to compare a camera that's almost 40 years old compared to a modern day digital camera. So instead, I have a very similar camera to compare. So these two cameras are cameras I absolutely love to use. The Canon 5D Classic and the Canon 1V. I think these two make a very close comparison because my Canon 1V can still use my modern glass, the EF, and the Canon 5D Classic, it came out 5 years after when film was starting to decline. But this is technically Canon's first full-frame digital camera. The photos that come out of this are magical. They look like film, or they have a feeling of film to it. I don't know what it's about, but even today I absolutely love playing with the Canon 5D. But also the Canon 5D, I think it came out in a time when film was going out the door, and digital cameras weren't exactly that well perfected yet. Canon 5D, I believe they were really trying to copy the look of film when they had nothing to back up on. And that's why I actually got a copy of this, and putting these two together, it's just been the most fun comparing film versus digital. Now when it comes to digital, I always have a digital camera on me just in case. I will never use my phone camera. But for digital, I always find myself that works that I do when it comes to recording a video or taking photos, they feel disposable by the way that digital photos, because they don't cost anything, you feel, oh, you could do a retake, oh, you can go for another one, oh, delete it just to take a better photo. With film, you can't really make that because once you take the photo, you can't delete it. It's on the film already. So with that in mind, and it has a factor of X amount of dollars or X amount of pounds, it's very, very demanding. It really pushes you. And with that, I really think film photography has pushed me in the way that, okay, I need to learn how to use a camera. And that's kind of the reason why I carry a film camera with me at all times, just because film photography has really elevated me. It takes magical, and you know, with that in mind, I found myself pushed more to the area of making films on actual film. I'm making this video because I won't see a lot of videos of comparisons between works between film and digital, and so I wanted to fill that void and make my own comparisons. I really can't say what I prefer over the other, except for the fact that film does elevate me to learn faster. What's worth the photo? Is it worth it to take it? Is it something that you'll be happy with in the end? Meanwhile, digital can feel very, very, okay, you're just happy you took it, and it doesn't feel as rewarding. It also comes into the fact that when you send in film to get developed, it's a very, very time-consuming wait. Usually where I go is Mr. Cat Photographics, and I'll get my film back maybe 2-3 days after, and that wait period and seeing the work you've done much long after, way long after you took the photos, it's a very, very rewarding feeling that film does that I don't ever feel with my digital cameras. But that's not to say that the convenience of a digital camera is not good. I definitely love the fact that with a digital camera you can have it immediately and you could just get home, put your memory card in your computer and just start editing. Again, they have their pros and cons, and I'm not here to talk about which one is better than the other. I just like to see and talk about the comparisons and what do people prefer. Honestly, there really is no ending for this video, and I don't really know how to end this off, but let me know what you guys think. What do you guys prefer, film or digital? What did you guys start with? Why you like digital or film? And yeah, so thank you again, and if you got to this point in the video, thanks for sticking with me and watching this to the end. I don't really see myself making a lot of YouTube videos, so let's see. But till then, yeah.